We're good. So, into the pro side of things, and this is going down between we have Explosive up the top here. He's in blue, and he is Cybran, facing off against Morax, who's been given the oldie red color, and he is Seraphim. Alright, both these guys happening first land and throwing down some PGens into mixes. Just the difference is we have 2 PGens into mixes for Morax. Yep, so he's got factory, 2 PGen, followed by 4 mass extractors, then another 4 PGens and air factory. So those of you that like to copy build queues, this is his, and it's not a bad one. Won't be stalling anything there. Have a look down here, and a very similar type of thing, although, yep, there we go, factory, 1, 2 PGen, and then into the mass extractors. PGens into the air factory. So it looks like a fairly standard build for both these guys. Just a question of how many PGens you make before you make air factory. It appears that Morax has gone with 5, while the Explosive has gone with 4. It's pretty much the only difference. Okay, engineers are getting some reclaim. There's not a lot of reclaim on the map, to be told. I say not a lot. There's yep, there's actually 0. There's no mass reclaim on this map, so anything you get will come from tree clumps like this. As long as you don't walk over them with your engineer and knock the trees down. Good. Because each tree clump gives you a tiny bit of extra mass, and it's exactly what these guys are going to be relying on to help boost their initial eco. Alright, factories on the way, still just see there are some raiding units here, so there's been a single lab plus a scout come out, and undoubtedly they're going to go all the way in. They are. So they're planning to run all the way in here. Maybe they can find and pick up an energy trying to expand like this guy, or they're just going to move through all of these tree clumps and destroy them. So this is a very advanced tactic. I say very advanced, but people don't really think of it that much. If you know your opponent is going to try and reclaim clumps of trees, if you run units through those clumps of trees, it will break some of them and they won't be clumps anymore. They'll be individual little trees, and they will miss out on mass. That's either a couple knocked down, and that is no longer a tree clump that can be hoovered up. Instead of being like this, which will grab all these trees, get them one by one, and you'll only get energy out of them. But never mind, Morax's clumps don't matter. Out for Morax. So, and though there is a defending interceptor on the build for Explosive, so that will not have a good time. For the OKC's guys though, is going to enjoy that hugely. Right on over without catching the did that, the bomber might instead decide to go for these guys, or may try to pick up these engineers which are threading their way over. The defending interceptor, however, is en route and protect these guys. Zero surprise. Right, scout has seen them, and the bomber comes in. The interceptor is loitering. The interceptor tags onto the bomber, swings in behind it. Doing some dodging here is Explosive, going to keep those engines alive out of the way. Interceptor swings back around, kills off the bomber. So Interceptor win, bomber 0. Hey, that lab did kill an engineer. There was... right, there he is. And now they get to run away from the commander and pick up another Engie up here. Keep it range, that engineer is doomed. 2 kills on that hunt now, well worth its wait. Not long for this world, just got a Tham chasing it down. And a couple of shots. Just waiting. Down here, engineer has come over for Explosive. Looks like he's trying to grab a hold on this little bit expansion. Getting the mixes, followed by a PD and some factories. But that's not going to last. I thought was on the way. He is. Yeah, that's not going to last. Another bomber out has been picked up by yet another interceptor, so he's going to get precisely nothing done once again as he gets tagged and just goodbye. Right, annoying Zooey. Floaty just wanders on over. He's going to find something to kill, aka this mass extractor. Maybe even pick off the hydro, depending on how much time it has to do what it wants to do. Let's see. Well, it's been scouted, so I can see that. Gonna lob a few shells over. 1, 2, one more. Boom, this shell's going for the engineer, is it? Yes, it is. Engie dies, and now the hydro is under threat. There is... oh, there's a Tham coming. Mantis is coming, sorry, but I don't think it's going to make it in time. It's a lot of damage coming off that Zooey, and look at that power plant go down. Another few shells, it'll be doomed. The Mantis is not going to keep that alive, even if it was actually heading in the right direction. Goodbye, hydro. And that just drops his eco back down. Right. Oh, this NG is going to complete. It's right, because the commander stopped. And the Zooey lives. 3 kills, mass extractor, engineer, and hydro. And it's been a very cost-effective Zooey. Now it's going to go for the mix-up here. Might run into a Mantis, but possibly not. Right hand side, a wee bit of a runaway attempt from Morax, not going anywhere, runs into a Pyramantis and a mole. And those... but however, 2 have made it through, and they're killing off another mix over there. And Zooey. How's your aim? Your aim's pretty damn good. Completely oblivious Mantis just wanders on past directly through the line of fire. Doesn't get hit, fortunately. Would have been a bit of collateral damage there. Alright, up this way, Scout flies on over, so Morax knows exactly what his commander's walking into. He knows it's just an engineer up here, so he's like, you know what? Okay, no, he's going to hold back just a moment. He's going to let these Zooeys come over and take care of the point defense. A wise move. Why not? You've got it there, might as well use it. Alright, bomber on the way. Oh dear. Picks up a couple of engineers that were clumped together before getting tagged up by some Indies. These 2 Zooeys have done another bit of a run by. They're raiding all over the place. This is on trying to kill the eco more than anything else. Zooey is he actually going for this one? Look at this guy. 4 kills, and he's about to get another one. Well, I think technically it was 5 kills because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, there's only 4. Take that back. About to get his 5th kill, which is another mass extractor, and that's just irritating. So you work on expanding, you work on picking up what mixes you can, and then you lose them because of a single Zooey that's just floating around being a nuisance. So at this point, it's kind of like an idea. Like if you have maybe just a single bomber in your defensive lineup, it can take care of these little raiding units. And you know, things like this Zooey, they wouldn't last. Send out a single bomber, go bomb it, and the raid's over. Speaking of raids, so onto that guy. He's trying to kill off a hydro. Oh, we might get it. They're close. 80 health is on the engine now. A couple of engineers dropped off here. They're not going to last long though, because there are incoming Mantis. Start work on a mass extractor. Not going to do anything. Looks like a Tham trying to do a bit of defending, but well out of position, and it's going to get shot left, right, and centre to its doom. Right. It's actually running away because there's more defending Thams coming up, and they might actually survive this raid. In that case, if they can keep off to the edge and stay away from all of this, they will be alright. Okay, more units coming up here for Morax. So raiding is absolutely everywhere for this guy. He's got units all over the place, up on the top, down on the bottom, and shooing away another engineer. So Morax paying attention everywhere, and his anticipation is good. Like, he doesn't have radar. Yeah, no radar. He just thought, it's probably about time some units are about to wander on over, so I'll get my NG out of there. I'll keep him alive, thank you. More eco damage. More mixes going down. More problems for explosive. He's managed to hold on to this side though, although having said that, single against a force of 3 never goes down so well. Reinforcements are on the way. And he's got one over here to pick up these mass extractors. He's gonna need it because of things like this. Hello Zooies. See a couple of bombers, or even jesters, just to, because he's Cybran, and that would clear out those quite happily. Drop planes to go over here could be an incredibly poor idea, especially because there's both anti-air and... Right. Transport drops off his load, and now they're all dying to PD. Maybe wanted a couple of Medusa in there, could have moved them back out of range and then killed off the point defense, but it's just Mantis, and that's what she wrote. Right, the air wing came in from Morax, didn't want that transport to live, and well, the transport didn't live, but neither did his interceptors. Front. Alright, successful push on the bottom. Slipped on past, and they can maybe kill off this mix if they're wanting to run on back, but apparently not. And we have a point defense, which is, I'm guessing, just to hold this spot. No, but it's not picking up any of these, even though they'll be on radar. Strange little decision. Hey, 4 mixes here, and well, Morax could just claim. He's got an engineer sitting right there doing nothing. He could claim those mixes for his own. Alright, the Mantis up here doing Mantisy things and getting shot by a point defense. Did kill off a couple of mixes, but that's not going to do much. There we go, we mentioned those defensive bombers to take care of raiding units, and that's exactly what they're doing. There's 3 units dead there. They can now swing back around and do some more damage. Going in a straight line is not your friend with T1 bombers about. Another couple of Zooies down, and of course these units are here to do exactly what the bombers are doing, which is to prevent these guys raiding in. Of course there's not much left to raid. The T1 mix is down, the Hydra is still down, and the Zooies have climbed up now, take a huge amount of damage. Having said that, you don't want to leave these guys sitting still for to be free Zooie bait. Bold move. Explosive has walked right out with this comm, and there's not a lot to stop him at the moment, so he doesn't want to loiter too long because far away. So there's 3 factories here, there's another 3 factories back here, a couple of air factories. Yeah, you can't overstay as welcome for that long, but you can stay for a little bit. Right, Zooi's trying to get some more going through. There was a transport full of them, but that got picked off by some interceptors. There's the roving band there. Managed to drop off its load, keep a couple of Zooies alive, but they're not going to get a huge amount done because bombers. So T1 bombers very good at stopping the raiding. Alright, and this is actually a solid air win for Explosive. So he's got more inties in the sky, and he now owns the sky, which means he can do things like this. Just have jesters pick off enemy units, because why not? Have T1 bombers come loitering around, killing off PD. Armors, no worries. Same thing going on here. So Explosive is fighting back in a decent manner. He's got himself air control, and he's just exactly that, just taking bombers and killing things at will. More bombers over here, although there is a couple of interceptors coming over, they won't last too much longer. But if they can knock off the point defense, I don't think they're going to be able to, owing to the interceptors being in the region. It means these 2 guys could have done more damage, but they won't get to. All the work's going on up here though. A couple of jesters moved on in, units on the ground as well, so combined air and ground attack from Explosive, keeping things looking pretty good. The bots would stop, so pointless. Yay, down here, well, the point defense is dead, the factory is dead, now it's just the radar. Roll a few units down and they'll take care of that pretty darn quickly. Boom, 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 there we go. And we'll also pull over what is left there. And now looking a wee bit more established down here is Explosive. He's got the 4 mixers. He's got a few factories there as well. They'll be hard to dislodge. And speaking of dislodging things, okay, that's going to be a tough one. There are a couple of anti-air as well as a few things on the ground, but Roland a few T1Rs here, and that will be all she wrote for that section. Right, and it appears that Morax has just been biding his time. He's been building up his air force. And he's actually than Explosive, who is about to lose air. Still, job done. He held air for long enough to get himself an advantage on the ground as well. Having said that, though, it's a big force of units from Morax and just a small handful there to try and hold them off. These guys are going to get munched down quickly. We're going to fight down on the opposite side though. This is a similar sized forces. Looks like those bombers have been continuing to work on this hill, and now with the point of fence dead, it gives license for ground units to move directly on in and just the jesters were at it. They snuck in, they killed some things off. Good for them. Alright, Morax is sick of this raiding, so he's bringing his under up perhaps, or I'm mistaking that, but 15 minutes in, and the game is once again looking pretty balanced. Have a check of units on the ground, but he's got 50 tanks compared to the, I take that right back, more Explosive is way ahead on the ground. That is a lot of Mantis. And he's got Medusas as a backup, or is it all Mantis? No, it's all, oh, they're over here. Not many, but yeah. That's a lot of Mantis, and he's just raided up here and taken out all of that compared to popping down a radar, and he's got some reclaim right there he can slip on up. So Explosive, I think, is actually ahead right now. He's got more Mantis on the ground. He doesn't quite have air control. He's got more eco. He's got more mass but slightly less power. It's owing to having raided down here as well. Badly, however, this is a giant force. Looking up top, though, it does back off, doesn't really want to risk them just yet. What? Alrighty. Have a bomber down here. So there's no anti-air on the ground actually. This is all just Mantis and Medusas, so ooh, that could have been a nasty bomb. Could have picked up like 4 engineers at once right there. Radar is going down, but maybe I was to put down a T1 anti-air or get a Sky Slammer coming out, and that's a gun upgrade for Explosive, so he thinks he's far enough ahead in the eco game to do an upgrade on this comm. Not a bad shout. Looking for tech from Rex. Excuse me, a bit of a hiccup there. There we go. Here's a land factory just about to pop T2 right now as we speak. And there's already a T2 land factory for Explosive, so he's actually ahead on everything but power. So Morax has been better with the reclaim by the look, because he has more total mass. Yep, there we go. Almost twice the reclaim of Explosive. So yeah, Explosive might have the extra eco, but Morax is getting all the wrecks, and that is helping him keep this game even. This is a poor idea, streaming units in one by one into bunches. Look at that double anti-air. Rounds, along with some point defense, along with some units. That's going to be a difficult item to dislodge there, and that's a mole things loitering around the edges, as a mole does. But that gun upgrade is on the way for Explosive, 60% and going up pretty darn quickly. Pulls it again, or he can just stall through it. His choice. It's his upgrade. Be tempted to pause again because, you know, you want to try and keep your energy up so your radar keeps working, so your mass extractors don't stall. But it doesn't look like he's doing that. Looks like he wants to get the gun upgrade sooner rather than later. And when he does, he's actually going to be a sizable force on the ground trying to take things out. Sludge with that much health. 2 started by Morax. Just as the gun completes for Explosive. Now, if Explosive knew this, I'm sure we would see a very, very hearty push. That is a Wagner, so Wagner has done Wagner things, has actually come up out of the water, killed off a couple of mass extractors, and it's hilarious. Good on them. Alright, Explosive pops out now, and he's got zero idea. His commander there is busy shooting the ground because, you know, fuck the ground. Nobody likes the ground around here. The ground can go die. That is a lot of units though. There are a whole bunch of interceptors, and Morax actually runs away with them. So, interesting decision. Here we go. That's why. Explosive is coming in with this group as well, so Morax is expecting that, and rather than leave his units within range to try and deal with it, he's back for survival purposes. A Ilchev is coming off the factory line for him, and I think he airdropped some over, or at least he airdropped flak. Definitely airdropped some units over to help support the commander there. I hear Ilchev's. I'm sure I just heard Ilchev somewhere. There we go. Having to go Wagner. Wagner's not going to finish off that mix because Ilchev doing defensive. This way goes Explosive with his comm. Wanting to kill off what is up here, which is a T2 land factory, so that's actually a good thing to kill off. His commander has decided, nah, I'll go the other way. Alright, Medusas start up the firing range. And this is going to be problems for that factory if they target it, which they do. And yeah, there are a couple of Ilchevs back here, but they're not going to have a lot of success against all of this, especially if they focus down the factory, which really they should. I feel like they're probably going for the eco first though. Why not? That factory is gone as well. Alright, Explosive with his comm down this way, and I guess it got picked up by a couple of Medusa. Either way, it's dead. Fracas going on up the top as well at the same time as all of that, and that is probably in the favour of Morax. Explosive doesn't want to push too far. T1 help adjust the numbers in Morax's favour, and air is completely 100% in Morax's control. He's got way more interceptors now. 54 plus 9 out of compared to the 32, so he's definitely got more air advantage. Explosive though, continuing to push with his comm, isn't giving Morax a chance to actually build any point defense. Getting a quick gun upgrade, that is going up way quick, and that'll be owing to the fact he has the T2. Wow, that's staggeringly fast. Done, and Explosive wants to think about maybe not sticking around there, because he doesn't have a lot of units left, and now Morax is a T2 gun comm, so he's got a hit point advantage as well, and basically all Explosive has is his comm. He wants to get some overcharges in on those Ilchevs if he can, because that will help thin out those numbers and maybe keep some of his own units alive a bit longer to keep going. About to get pincered though. A couple of Ilchevs that were sitting up here have finished off those guys and are coming on up, and Explosive thinks, yeah, nah, I'm out of there. Bombers overhead, a gun comm in front of him, Ilchevs loitering around. He's just going to go walk into the water and he will be fine. Up on this side it is Morax pushing up as well, and he's got the numbers, he's got the tech, and these Mantis are basically done for. That's going to be that army, and the question is, what will they do now? Will they keep pushing up? T2 mixes, so pushing up would be a great idea if we can take out that eco. And Explosive, over 100 mass income now. is well ahead of Morax, although Morax again incredibly high on the reclaim, got 3 times as much as explosive, and that is a T3 shift. I saw that. To hold on to all of his eco though, not want to lose any of it. That going on. Now the THQ is here, still popping out Ushivas. Just going to keep on going, but those is explosive. It shifts to 2-3, so there's going to be advantage explosive if Morris does not move to it. We have some Wagners turn up over here. They have the angle from up on the hill to kill the PD from above the walls. And actually the same over here, those shots coming on over. And now this entire area is at risk. It's all going to die. Anti-air turrets do nothing against Wagoners. That's all she wrote for that wee expansion. But problems up the top. Are rolling on and Ilshivas are coming on in, and there's not enough to defend, which means Explosive is going to be looking at losing all of these T2 mass extractors, and that's quite a sizable loss for him. So that is 4 mass extractors at 6 mass. 24 mass income is going to be obliterated. Corsairs, Nothers, sorry, I take that back, Nothers are out. What were they trying to kill? I don't know. In mass extractor over here. I don't see much else. Did they kill off a bunch of units? Not sure, I completely missed that while observing the obliteration at the top. At eco. And here the Wagoners got caught out by a host of Ilshis, and they are out of there. Nothing. Seems to be evenish once again. So with this raid, it's going to drop explosive eco down to very similar to what Morax has, because he's also lost this. Trying to rebuild up here as well. So fun. See explosive coming back out with his comm. He can maybe pick up a few units, perhaps do a small raiding party. But he has T3. And straight into bricks, because yep, you're going to want bricks when you're facing off against Ilshivas. Bricks are very good at care of those. So the factory is all sitting at tier 1, just popping out small units. He's got 4 air factories actually. But now planes, could be 6 and T2. So Morax has gone T2 air, whilst Explosive has stayed at T1. Morax has airdropped engineers up this way. They're going to get to reclaiming because there's a bunch to have. Just have a look. Right here, 5,000 reclaim just in this area alone. Most of that is from is up here. 5,500 reclaim just sitting here, waiting to be claimed. Why wouldn't you? And that's actually going to help Morax get ahead. The extra eco, the extra reclaim, it's all he wants. And look at that. Upgrading his mass extractors to T3. Check in over here, and Explosive has been sticking with the T2 for now. Although some control Ks on some factories, perhaps he's going to improve that. And just wandering around again, having some fun, and fun is to be had. Yeah, there's a couple of Ilshivas in, but if you throw down some overcharges like I'm sure he's got, just need some radar so we can see what he's actually looking at. Radar? No intel. No intel. Bounce. This merry band of Ilshivas is just sitting there, and as I say that, they start moving. They're repositioning, or are they actually on the move? Looks like an actual move order. They're going to wander up here. They're going to run into a T1 radar, which is going to... Nope, they're stopping. And here comes the brick. Just 1 brick. There are some other T2 runners in here to help soak damage, but 1 brick against all of that, the brick is not going to have a good time. Ilshivas aren't T3, but they are very strong T2. Some people have said they're basically like 2.5 tick, just as far as how powerful they are. I mean, 2,500 health. And their high range, their high rate of fire, their excellent damage capability. Still, a brick's a brick. And the brick will do bad things to Ushivas. As do clumps of rhinos. So Morex turns back with that group, decides I'm not facing bricks. And will that cause a... well, never mind, I was going to say, will it cause T3 shift? He's already got T3 and is already rolling siege tanks off the line as well. I think that's his first one. I don't see any others. These are amphibious, and I think he's going to go for a walk over this way to see what he can see what he can kill. In the meantime, we have a massive army from Explosive going to come up this way and take care of the top section. Going to get to play our favourite game, which is T2PD shoots the ground. Because if there's something that this point defense is good at, it is shooting the ground. You know, fuck the ground. Nobody likes the ground. So if anything peeks over that ridge, they die. This. Maybe, maybe not. It's close enough. But their section is all blue, and Explosive is back here with his comm. Now, where did that siege tank go? Well, it's joining the fray. It's coming on down to join the fray. And T1 bomber. Hey, why not? Kill off the NGs, and then you can go kill off the mass extractors. Free reign. Bombs. Hello. Have a pause and a hover bomb there. Straight down. Kaboom. 2 NGs for 1. Why not? Guy's going to slink on past the edge there. Some Medusa fire popping on over should take care of the mass extractor, and the bombers have free reign to clean up the... Alright, it is Morax pushing up with this comp. He's wanting to try and thin out some of these numbers. He has a huge army behind him as backup. He does have a shield as well, so if he decides to get... if he starts getting low, he can decide to fall on back. And Northers joining the party. 3 Norther fighter bombers come in with their payload, but run into a whole host of Sky Slammers and nope out of there right proper quick. Quite a few Sky Slammers. Alright, going to get a little bit of common action right now. Go to Charlotte. And this is Explosive without radar.
Commander under attack.
Explosive without radar. Come on, you've got engineers right there. Slap down the T1 radar right away. Just get something, or upgrade that to T2 or something, because in come the Northers. Oh dear, that's a lot of health gone from Explosive, down under 5,000. The Northers, well, they run into flak, and just as bloody well they ran into flak, because that would have been very bad for Explosive to get caught once more. He is away, he is clear, though he is being chased down by Morax, and he's going to need to be on his tot without a stop. Trying to bring in the units so they can bump Morax and slow down his comm down 3,000 to under 3,000. Overcharge coming in, North are flying overhead, 500, 400 health, 300, 120 I saw. Oh my word, how close can you get? An Explosive gets out of there with by the skin of his frickin' teeth. 120 health, all it would have taken was maybe a bit more of an overcharge, 2 more shots, or even a shot and a couple of nibbles from ground units, and that would have been Explosive out of the game right there and then. But he survives, and he actually gets away. He's also motioned another brick up over here just while he's been doing all that. Let's clean out this spot. He kills bricks and more ground units, some engineers, hapless engineers, they're not going to last long. A bunch of T1 bombers going for something. Ushva, strange choice, but you know, anything over nothing I guess. Now Ushva is quite stark, so you can't even dodge the bombs, just going to take bombs to the face and die. Right up this way, do we have some TAC missile defense? Got a brick, got a radar. Explosive is there with his comms. Some jesters come in to assist, but there's bangers in the mix, and they go down. Sorry, not bangers. Bangers are the Cybran flak, just the Ashivas, which is that one there. So Explosive still with this gun, 2,500 health, needs the gun, needs the overcharge to his help. There is a T3 factory rolling off of bricks, and that is going to help hold this position perhaps. Depends how brave Explosive is feeling with his comm. He could maybe get some overcharges, but more Othams rolling out of the water. Alarm bell should be kind of ringing at that point. So gets rank of literacy up into the red now, 7,500 health, so looking a lot healthier than it was a moment ago. But this section is completely gone now, overrun by red despite there being blue in the area. That's all Morax wanted to do, is just deny the expansion. Everything you kill takes time to rebuild, everything you kill takes away from your opponent's eco, from your opponent's build power, so raiding is good. Yeah. And we have some Zoos up this way trying to make some kind of landfall, but they're getting killed. Bricks are good. Right, some T1AAs having fun with interceptors, shooing them off, though we have a couple of siege tanks rolling on over. They're going to knock out the tech defense first, then they're going to kill the T2NG. I don't know if I will do ladder stay Arga. I'm just casting ladder, but attack launcher. Does it get a missile off before it dies? It does! And one comes brick, and it gets control K'd and instantly reclaimed by the engineer. So Explosive knows it's not going to survive, but that missile is going to get nothing done owing to the fact that it's attack defense in play. I think he was going for the HQ. If the TMD was not there, he might have had a chance. A few more missiles would have had a greater chance. Over on this side, and Explosive is running out of ground units, and his commander is back into the red, so he's quite happy and healthy there. But now there's just simply raiding happening everywhere. Back onto the Zoos in the mix, and they're going to kill themselves off a mass extractor. A bunch of engineers have identified the danger. They're going for reclaim. They're going for reclaim. They're about to reclaim the Enzing. There's more than enough of them to do that, and that's a brick. Joining the party, another brick down here is going to kill off the Zoos because screw them. Explosive down here. His comm has no support. There's a single brick tanking some extra damage from, but there's a shield in the way of Killins. The shield goes down and gets primaried as well, so no more shield down there. But the balance of the game has shifted. Absolutely has shifted. Morax, army up the top. Either, well, he's cleaned out section, he's cleaned out the side base there while continuing to hold his own, and he shifted well in his favour, even on generated and reclaimed, 34k to 8.7. Well on his side. Well, and he's about to get T3 air. Does he have T3 power? Well, not yet. Yes, he does. Sorry. Sitting right beside the air factory, T3 PGN is right there. Shields going up from this guy. It looks like another T3 PGN plane there, probably straight after this. There it is. And out come the scouts. What kind of response does Explosive have to that? Oh, he's still got T1 air. So he's going to have a real bad time. A real bad time. With a T1 bomber, which, I mean, drove longer than I thought when there's flak and T1A in the area. But now, this band is moving up and there's nothing to stop them. It's like a single brick. Not going to be enough to stop all of that. And there's stealth done for Explosive, so wanting to remain off radar. See the commander to shoot him or have him under opti. And look at this. Engineer's already in for Morax. Like, as soon as he can, he just sends these guys in and pulls as much mass as he possibly can, even in the face of losing them, because fuck it. We have a look at how much an engineer costs down here. So an engineer costs 52 mass. So if it reclaims more than 52 mass, it is all good. So I think that was, sorry, the wordings, yep, that was Explosive throwing out the GG. He recognizes the game just as we have, is basically mostly downhill and over for him. He trying to shoot things away on the ground, not doing so badly, but look at that. You could take 10 engineers, and as long as they reclaim that wreck, those 10 engineers have been profitable. Easy as that. G'day Bam, I see you. I see you Bam. How you doing today my friend? How was your cast? Did you play some games? Did you do some casting? Did you have some fun? Is the question. We are looking at the wind down of this game. It has been 37 minutes, but Explosive has already thrown out the GG, and not too much of a wonder why. He's got a massive army up here trying to slow him down. Massive army down here stopping him out. His opponent has T3 air whilst he's only got T1. So he's not going to get a lot of success done on that front. But it's nice to see you anyway. And I must say, I have seen your mustache on your stream, and it is a fantastic mustache. I'm not going to lie, it is very, very nicely done. It is well waxed, it is well governed. Nice. Anyway. Yep. No, he takes care of that moustache. I have seen it, and it is well looked after. Bricks up here, standing still, getting introduced to a whole swarm of T1 artillery. Never good for your health to sit under that. Tell me, did you have problems with the replay server? A couple of days ago, I could not. I could not find any replays. Like I couldn't launch them. They were all not able to be viewed. Couple of bricks trying to do their best down here. They can probably take out the mixers, but Janks just have to turn around and be all over on that point. It's going up this way, single brick trying to do its best again, but just far too much. Similarly, this game, I think these are the only point defense that were ever built. Above T1. There are some T1 PD lobbed around the face, but these are the only static T2 PD that I saw actually built. The rest has all been units, been mobile, and it's been pretty good. He ever finished that strat? He must have. Don't see it though. Oh, they're just sitting on the ground doing nothing. Oh, I know. Yeah. I was like, oh, that looks like a good game. Oh, I can't watch it. Oh, that looks like... Oh, I can't watch it. Wait, I can't watch any of these. I actually had to go to some backup games just to try and figure things out and keep things going, but yeah. I'm glad they're back. Absolute devastation for a caster. Yeah. So replay file not available. The launch button was grayed out. You couldn't click on it. Yeah, that's exactly what I had. So good to know it wasn't just me. And this is... Explosives base just getting absolutely overrun. Check out all the AD fire coming in, offense rolling on up, buildings exploding. Doom, 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 doom. Down goes the T3 HQ. No more bricks for you, good sir. And his comm is down here. Trying to do what he can, but honestly, he threw the GG out a few minutes ago, and he wasn't wrong. He didn't play badly. I just want to say, I don't think Explosive really played as bad as this looks. Even up to, like, say, 10-15 minutes ago, was still looking pretty even. But what I would say clinched it for Boom strat, I would say what actually clinched it for Morax was the reclaim. Those strat bombers in the background circling around, coming up for another pass. Boff. And kaboom. Down he goes. quickly have a look at the reclaim numbers. So we can't see them now because Explosive is dead, but Morax basically had like constantly 3 to 4 times the amount of reclaim that Explosive did. And, you know, it was really even at times. Like, they both had half the map. They had Explosive was even ahead on generated eco, but it was still behind in total eco thanks to reclaim. So that has been the difference in this particular game. Very even between the guys, very good fighting, very similar movements and pressure, falling back, keeping units alive, all of that stuff. But I think the one thing that made it slightly, well, started slight and then just kind of escalated was the amount of reclaim that Morax got. And using that has let him win the game, and he takes the W. So congrats to Morax on that.